So we are able to carry the grapes from the harvest to the bottle with no pumps. It's the only cellar in the world which can do the winemaking, the extraction, the délestage, the bleeding, the pumping over without any mechanical intervention, which makes a huge difference when the fruit is very, very ripe, which was the case in 2009, because the fruit being ripe is much more fragile. If you don't touch it, you avoid oxidation, you avoid the loss of aromas, and you have a better skin contact, you have a better extraction, and therefore you have much more intense and depth wine. It's also a vintage 2009 where Mother Nature has been very kind from the winter to the last day of harvest. There has been no excess in one way or the other. The very warm temperature we had in July were sustained by the vineyards because we had a very cold and humid winter. Therefore we had very strong hydrate reserves in the soil. Therefore the vines did not suffer. And then we had a beautiful Indian summer, but unlike 2002 where we had a very warm days, in 2009 we had warm days and very cold nights, which has maintained the acidity at very high level. The September we had in 2009 is quite similar to the weather you have in Napa Valley before the harvest, where it's 7-8 degrees Celsius in the morning, and then it goes to 35 in the afternoon. This is what we had in 2009. So these wines have very high sugar contents, which leads to high alcohol, very high tannic structure, and very high acidity. Having the three elements together is very difficult, and that's why there's a sense of balance and harmony in these wines. That's also why you don't feel the excess. It's an excessive wine, but you don't feel it. There's a balance, there's a sense of balance, elegance, and harmony in 2009, which makes this vintage in Bordeaux quite extraordinary. And in the case of Cos, we have privileged a higher proportion of Merlot than we had in 2003 and 2005. So it's a very round, powerful, silky wines. Even when you do that around your glass, you can see the color staying on the glass. It's a very rich, powerful wine. It's a wine which you have to judge with circonspection, because it's certainly not yet ready. You should only try it with a criticized mind and a criticized palate. You cannot like it. It's far too powerful, far too austere. But you have, when you taste this wine as a cask sample, you have to try to see if you have bitterness, lack of ripeness, if it's too harsh, too tannic. You will have to try to anticipate what the future of the wine will be. Plus, for a cask sample to travel across the Atlantic as it did is not the best option. So just have a look at it as an intellectual exercise, and with a criticized mind more than a positive mind.
Great.
But you can see the richness of it.
You